The new 2022 Audi S8 is a sleeper sedan. A supercar is a car that non-car enthusiasts think is slow, but actual car enthusiasts know that they're fast. And that's exactly what this Audi S8 is. The current D5 Audi S8 has the Porsche-derived motor, or the E8 825 4-liter twin-turbo V8 motor, which is also used in the Porsche Panamera, Bentley Continental GT, and Lamborghini Urus. The Audi S8 is one of the 4 cars that doesn't look like it's a supercar. With the 2022 refresh, that same motor is carried over, with a projected 0 to 60 in 3.8 seconds, and 563 horsepower, with 590 pound-feet of torque, which is over 1 second faster than the Audi D3, which wielded a V10. And if you take a glance in the interior, you really wouldn't know that it's actually a sport luxury sedan. And the gauge cluster is all digital, which is very beautiful, with 2 more screens on the infotainment center, beautiful piano black all around the dash, and the doors all the way down the center console, beautiful stitched leather seats. In the back, you have 3 extra seats with the same beautiful stitching. Then the middle can fold down to a very nice infotainment center for the rear passengers. And literally the only thing that's telling you that this is the special edition Audi are the seats with the S embroidered on the front of them. And they are very nicely bolstered. And you have an S badge on the steering wheel to tell you every time you get into your Audi S8 that it does indeed have that 4-liter V8 motor in the front. Because if it didn't have these badges, you wouldn't know otherwise. The S8 does have much more an aggressive appearance, with its quad exhaust in the rear, its much wider grille, and redesigned headlights. Along with the quad exhaust, you have nice chrome touches around the exhaust, on the tips of the exhaust, and even on the taillights, which kind of screams luxury, not necessarily sporty. And if you opt in for the Black Optic Plus package, you'll be receiving black mirrors, a few badges, and 21-inch wheels, which will turn this car to look a bit more aggressive. And Audi takes a page from their own book, and they make the taillights resemble the Audi e-tron very nicely, but in its own way with the Audi S8. They're developing a signature Audi look, which is really good. And the Black Optics package is available both on the A8 and the S8. So that's yet another reason that will confuse a non-car enthusiast. In America, and similar to China, South Korea, and Canada, we have received the A8L platform, which is basically the stretched out version by 5.1 inches. Audi has thought about the comfort and luxury feel of their S8, and they took the length into considerations. So they made rear wheel steering standard to make turning tight corners a breeze and not such a big deal, which also translate in a high-speed environment very nicely. Not only does Audi have all-wheel steering that makes turning a breeze, it also has active air suspension, which controls all 4 wheels independently. There has been new colors added to the S8, like the District Green, Permanent Blue, and the Ultra Blue. And by 2023, we should be receiving a signature shade. So what is this gonna cost you? $118,000, which is actually $12,000 to $14,000 cheaper than the 2021 version, and nearly $100,000 cheaper than the Lamborghini Urus, which is sharing the same engine, but with more horsepower, and it is a bit quicker. But is it worth the whole extra $100,000? I say no. Most people who are buying the Audi S8 aren't really buying it for the gas mileage, but I'm gonna talk about it anyways. It has a 21.7 gallon tank and should receive about 13 to 22 miles per gallon, which should give it about 288 mile range on a full tank and in the city. Let's look back at other sleeper sedans. We have the Chevy SS, which only car enthusiasts know that is a true sleeper sedan. We have the Cadillac CTS-V, that is considered a sleeper sedan. However, Cadillac is taking many steps forward and making the CTS-V look very sporty. So it's kind of on the edge of being a sleeper sedan. But with the Audi line, you have the A8 and then you have the S8. And mainly the only difference between the A8 and the S8 to the average eye is the badging. If you take out that badging, nobody would know the difference. But to be honest, for the price range, the car looks kind of basic. Yeah, I said it, basic. It definitely does stand out amongst the crowd of all the cars on the road. But basic for the $100,000 plus price range. I mean, you do get a lot of car, and people do argue that Audi's kind of losing their way. But in my opinion, similar to Mercedes, Jaguar, and every other company out there, they change. They mold with the current market. So things need to change in order to stay relevant. Can't expect companies and cars to look the same throughout many generations. They had to change. If not, are we stepping forward or are we stepping backwards? All I know is that I want to keep stepping forward. What do you think about the sleeper sedan? Do you think it's a true sleeper sedan? Would you want to buy one? Is there something better out there? Probably. That's all for today. This is Chris at AutoMotivate. Always appreciate and respect one another, and thank you for watching to the end. I'll see you next time.